Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chadron State women's basketball coach Tim Connealy. The Eagles had a very successful final home weekend stand last weekend against Colorado Christian and Colorado School of Mines, earning 2 wins. Both of them came in pretty exciting fashion. The Eagles defeated Colorado Christian 67-55, a team that came in here with quite a bit of momentum after defeating Colorado Mesa the week before. And then the Eagles defeated Colorado Mines 76-62. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the 2 wins. I know that's a great way to close out the home portion of the schedule. The Eagles are now 5-18 overall. More importantly, 5-14 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. But more importantly for you, a young team who finally played with some maturity during 2 tough games.
Yeah, you know, first off, I appreciate the support, Alex. And, yeah, I was really, really proud of the kids this weekend. And, you know, we've been seeing this coming for a couple weeks now. The last weekend when we were on the road at Western State and Mesa, you know, against Western we were banged up, didn't have Sadie Waugh, and still competed pretty hard, played pretty well, just didn't make a lot of easy shots, you know, and we were right in that basketball game. Against Mesa, really got blown out the first half. You know, I think our kids were a little shell-shocked when they walked into that game. And in the second half, you really saw them calm down, and we started seeing that maturity in the second half against Mesa. You know, we played them to 3 points, really was able to slow the ball down on them, looked mature on the offensive end, got good shots, and had a great week of practice. And then I think it all finally just came together for 40 minutes 2 times in a row. And I think everyone's seen what we can be capable of when we're patient, you know, and we don't get in a hurry, especially on the offensive end. I was really happy with our ball movement. You know, we didn't have a lot of one-on-one plays. We had a lot of assists, a lot more assists than we're used to. And, you know, for the most part, we took care of the basketball. And, you know, I think that really helped our defense. I think it helped us control the tempo. And when you have a short bench like us and you're playing, you know, anywhere from 7 to 9 kids per night, you know, kind of controlling that tempo, I think has been key for us. And I think that showed.
Friday's victories over Colorado Christian was especially sweet. The Cougars had defeated Chadron State 106-68 earlier in the season during a tournament. And then in December in Lakewood, Colorado, the Cougars won 91-64. Your girls, to their credit, just forgot about those 2 games, played within your system, and really had a nice game. Katie Ranta had a good game. Dallas Shaw made 4 threes, actually both nights for the Eagles. And then Hattie Guzman's shooting better.
Yeah, they are. They're shooting a lot better. And, you know, I think it's more of a team, you know, problem that we're starting to solve. Our penetrators are starting to get into the paint, the Kate Simontons, Elisa Durdens, and they're really starting to make good passes. And, you know, before the decision-making wasn't always great with our dribble penetration, and I think you're starting to see that decision-making really improve. And when that improves, you start getting open jump shots on the perimeter. And those kids had a great shooting night, but I think it was more our team kind of figuring out how to get them the ball and when to get them the basketball. And yeah, Colorado Christian, you know, we played them twice this year and they handled us pretty good, but it was early in the season. And, you know, it seemed like it was so long ago that our kids did forget about it, you know, and we've gone up against the press. Christian runs a 2-2-1 a couple different times from different opponents in a few different zones. And I think you just seen how much our kids have grown up over the last couple months.
And then on Saturday, that maturity continued to show. Colorado Mines actually led by, I think, 8 or 9 early on in the first half on Saturday. The Eagles, though, put together a nice run, actually led by at halftime, and then continued to lead the remainder of the second half. Katie Ranta had another double-double, which was her 7th for the season. As Coach mentioned, Dallas Shaw and Hattie Guzman were both hitting their threes, but then got a really nice performance from Kate Simonton, finished with a team-high 6 assists.
Yeah, and she also, I think, had 16 points, you know, and against Colorado School of Mines, and played really well. Her shot selection's a lot better. And, you know, I think our kids in that game, again, you know, offensively, it looked like we moved the ball a lot better on film, you know, and the shots, you know, they're not necessarily better shots than we've been getting, but they're inside our system, and the kids know when they're going to shoot it, and you can see they're a lot more comfortable and ready to shoot the basketball when we get that kind of ball movement. And, you know, I thought we played well. There was a stretch there in the first half. I didn't think we came out real strong, but again, you use the word maturity, and that's kind of been our theme this week, is just, you know, play like a mature basketball team. And it's about time we start growing up. You know, we've been using this excuse all year that we're young, and I think our kids kind of put that to the back burner and said, you know, we're not young anymore, and we need to start playing like we're upperclassmen. And I thought you saw that this weekend.
Well, the Eagles are on their final road trip of the season where they play back-to-back games. They will play at UCCS Friday at 5:30, and then that'll be followed at a game Saturday at 5:30 at Colorado State University Pueblo. Looking at both teams, Coach, pretty talented. They're both in the top 4 in the RMAC. UCCS is 17-5 overall, 14-4 in the conference. Really talented at home. They're 7-2. And they had put together a nice win streak. They'd won 8 or 9 in a row before losing to Fort Lewis on Saturday, 65-63 in Durango, Colorado. So I'm sure they'll come into the game with something to prove.
Yeah, this is a very talented basketball team. They mix up their defenses a lot. They'll run a 2-2-1 press, a 2-3 half-court zone. They'll run a pressure man-to-man half-court defense as well as a switching man-to-man. And they have a lot of scores, especially out on the perimeter. They have some talented kids that can shoot and drive, and they're kind of relentless with their dribble penetration. They really don't let up. They'll continue to attack and kind of get into your body and try to get to the free throw line. And their coach has been there a couple of years now, and their kids are starting to get more comfortable with how he coaches, especially offensively, and the type of movements he requires. And I think it's really just coming together for him this year.
UCCS features 6 players who average at 7.5 points or higher, so they are certainly a team that is capable of scoring. They defeated Chadron State here in late January, 78-61. And then, Coach, that'll be followed by a game on Saturday against CSU Pueblo. The Thunderwolves are 16-6 overall, 13-5 in the RMAC. They had won 5 in a row during that streak. Was a 79-60 victory over Chadron State, and then they lost back-to-back games against UCCS and Fort Lewis. Fort Lewis is a team that's really come on as of late in the RMAC, but they rebounded, had a nice big win over Adams State. So another talented team that plays a lot better at home. They're 8-3 in Pueblo.
Yeah, this team, they're tough, and what makes them tough is their size. They're a very big team. When they were here, a couple weeks ago, Kersley, is a Division I transfer they have, and she really, kind of took it to us. She had 23 points in the first half, and we just didn't adjust quick enough to what they were doing with her, and we didn't get her out of her comfort zone. In the second half, I thought we played a lot better against Pueblo. We calmed down a little bit. We slowed her down, worked a little bit harder on her, and just competed more. And I think our kids, we're going to watch that second half of film and just, see what we did that was successful against Pueblo. And hopefully if we can do more of those things throughout the course of the game, especially in the first 10 minutes, hopefully we can be in that basketball game.
Well, it should be an exciting weekend for the women's basketball team. Certainly they have to feel reinvigorated after having those nice 2 victories here at home. And so we're looking forward to seeing what they can do on the road, and best of luck to you this weekend.
All right, thanks a lot.